see I did it, then you did it, then you see I do it, then you did it, then you see I did it, then you did it, then you see I done it, then you did it, then you see I did it.
Good morning, everyone. I am at Gold's right now. I'm gonna do some cardio, and then I have to go to the Apple store to get my phone fixed because my battery is so messed up right now. So I'm gonna go in and get 20 minutes or so, and then start the day. So I'm tired. All right, guys, cardio is done. 20 minutes. I did hit on the bike. I had to kind of like take it back a second because it's been a minute since I've done hit cardio on the bike. So 2 minutes rest, 1 minute as fast as I could, and I upped the level, like the resistance. So 2 minutes regular resistance, 1 minute higher resistance, faster. And now we're gonna head to the Apple store, and then I will address the title of this video. So meal 3 is going down. Got cod and rice. Earlier I had sweet potatoes, vegetables, and what else did I bring? Oh, turkey. That was my meal 2. Apple store, we didn't really get much out of that except for the fact that I figured out that it was the battery. So I'm gonna try to get an upgrade. Can't get any footage. I couldn't get any workout footage because my phone has to be plugged in all the time. Today's video is gonna be a little different. Plus, there was some stuff that happened earlier that I just wanted to share with you guys just because it was really nice to be able to talk to someone, and I just want to kind of share his thoughts. All right, guys, coming at you live from my bed. So the thing that happened earlier before I even addressed the title of this video is I went to the gym between my appointment with Apple because I literally got to the Apple store the second it opened, or like didn't even get there. I was like waiting and then walked in the second that it opened, and I told them my problem, and they were like, oh, you have to wait an hour, like your next appointment's like not till like an hour from now. And I was like, but I just got here and you just opened. What? I went to the gym to warm up my food, ran into one of the owners of the gym that I go to. I sat down, talked to him, and just kind of caught up, and it ended up being like a really nice talk, just like about what the future holds for me and how he got to where he is, how he got to owning the gym that we all go to, and just like giving me advice on kind of just like going and doing and not having to plan everything and stuff like that. I don't even know how we got on that subject, but thank you, Marlon. I'm gonna put his YouTube down in the description so you guys can go see him. He just started a YouTube channel. It's absolutely hilarious, so I encourage you guys to go subscribe to him. It's just always interesting to hear business owners tell you that, you know, they didn't know what they were doing when they first started. Like, they just kind of did, and they figured it out along the way. I don't even think people who have a business degree, like, know exactly what's going to happen with the business. Like, you have so many other factors that go into it. It's almost impossible to predict. I've just realized that that has done almost absolutely nothing for me because I don't think that I am where I thought I would be after any plan that I ever made, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. He's, you know, see me a lot more like bubbly and excited and stuff, and not that I don't smile like or anything like that, but you know, I'm just kind of like going through the day, kind of. So it was just nice to kind of get that. But addressing the title of this video, I'm talking about how YouTube made me a professional bikini competitor. It's actually quite simple. I feel like it's something that everyone can do, but I feel like it's something that I could share that might help you, or is just like an interesting story, I guess. So I'm gonna share it. It literally was just me following other bikini competitors. Like, I don't consider myself super resourceful or anything like that. I kind of just learn as I go. And following people like Jessica Arvalo, Katie Corio, Amanda Bucci, Emily Hayden, all the main bikini competitors. Like, you guys all know them, or you all follow your specific niche of bikini competitors. You literally get every single second of their life. Like, they share everything. I mean, as far as we know, they share 75 to 90% of their life, especially when they're competing. And just like I've shared with you guys, like, throughout like this last season, you get every single thing. You get what they did for cardio, you get their workouts, you get essentially what they're eating. I just thought it was cool that all these girls were like competing and it was like this muscle contest or whatever, and I didn't know anything about it. But literally, like, if you don't know anything about competing, just go back on some of these girls' pages, go back on my page and just like follow, just watch the videos. Like, they tell you everything you need to know about competing, and any detail that you don't know, you will find out like when you compete. The first competition I ever did, it was literally all off of what these girls taught. Like, I knew that they followed macros. Who did macros the most that I like got? I'm trying to think. Like, I think it was like Amanda Bucci and Katie Corio or something. Those two, I think I was following Katie through her Frigno Legacy competition, which is crazy because I met her in California and now we're good friends. But before I like ever met her or anything like that, whoa, that's a huge bruise. Where'd that come from? Sorry. Anyways, I was following her through that, and all of them talked about macros, but I'd never tracked my food. Like, I never thought to. So once I started hearing all those girls doing it, I was like, okay. I would see them weigh out their food, so I was like, I guess I'll try to weigh out my food. And they were talking about this MyFitnessPal app. Guess I'll put that on my phone and see how that goes. There were a few days in there where, you know, I would try it. I didn't stick to that for a long time. I think I didn't actually stick to weighing out my food until I started my first competition. Besides the macros and stuff, like, all the workouts that I've done in the last like 3 years of my lifting career or journey or whatever have all been from YouTube and from bodybuilding.com. That's why I want to encourage you guys. Like, and I mean, maybe this is something that's probably detrimental to my business too, but I don't set my prices or my business or anything to stump anyone. Like, I want people who are in college, people who are younger, like in high school, like people who are older, anyone to be able to afford programs and my challenges and stuff like that, because you don't realize how easy it is to get free information on the internet. Yes, there was some things that I had to figure out. There was some information that was wrong, obviously, but to be honest, like, the majority of my journey came off of YouTube and people sharing their own journey. So you can learn literally an entire prep off of YouTube. I never had a coach. I never had anyone that was a coach tell me anything about competing. I've obviously learned a few things since this last competition because I go to a gym that is specific to powerlifters and bodybuilders. So I watch them, I learn from them. So I've learned a few things like that. But after like learning all that stuff from them and just like basically like almost just like copycatting them, like doing exactly what they were doing, like weighing out my food, figuring out my macros. I figured out my macros through a macro calculator. Literally every time I start a prep, I start by calculating my macros through a macro calculator on the internet for free. I always use Katie Hearn's because I just like her, and I've seen somewhere that, you know, hers might be one of the better ones out there. So every time I start a prep, I see where I am using Katie's calculator. I know how to calculate my own macros, but I honestly don't know how to do it, including my like age and like weight or anything like that. I'm trying to remember like how I figured out how to do it. Oh, I figured out how to do it when I started carb cycling. That's a whole different video. But YouTube is such a resourceful domain for people to just come and learn about everything, because people are just sharing their knowledge and sharing their experiences over time. And that's another reason why I started my YouTube channel, because that's literally like YouTube is like where it all started for me. I didn't know anything about competing. There's still things I have to learn, and obviously I learned a lot more as I actually started to compete and as I figured out what works for me as a competitor. Now it's really just trial and error. I'm not a researcher. I don't like to research. I never did. I'm just all about learning through like doing. I just love learning by like sticking the puzzle pieces together and figuring out which puzzle piece works, like by just doing the puzzle. I would watch these girls tell me their entire life, and I would literally model my life after them. If they were doing fasted cardio, I was like, okay, that seems like a good idea. I'll try fasted cardio. If they were doing glute bridges instead of squats for their glutes, I would do that. I would try that and see how that worked for me. Then I learned how to prep on my own. I learned how to lower my macros on my own. I did my first show, did my second show, did my third and fourth show, which was this show, the last two shows you just saw, and became a professional WNBF bikini pro, which is crazy to think about. That's how I became a bikini competitor in general, but also a professional bikini competitor. Literally from the Emily Haydens and the Amanda Bucci's and the Katie Corios of the world. You guys can totally figure out how to make that work for you. Even if you don't want to compete, even if you're just watching this video or watching their videos and you just want to get into shape, dial it down. Like, they have their times when they're off seasons. Like, you guys have seen this last 2 or 3 months of me off season and just like exercising. You could totally get so much out of that without ever having to pay for someone to tell you about it. I just am all about saving money. YouTube is like the place to be for anything in life. So many people go on here and try to help others and give them information, free information, so that you don't have to pay for it and you can learn on your own. It's such a help. Obviously, it's good to get a trainer because there is a professional that knows what they're doing. If you're not one of those people who this stuff just clicks with you, it's good to get a trainer. And plus, like, I mean, you guys obviously only see a portion of what I can share with you guys. As a trainer and as a bikini competitor, there's a lot to say about learning and experiencing in person. I can't really tell you guys everything about how it's important to have balance and stability and, you know, all this different stuff that goes into a overall physically fit body and life. But you'd be surprised just how much you can learn, especially if you're someone that wants to get into competing. It's all here. All the information you need is here. I've learned so much about my body in this last 3 years, especially this last year since I started competing. I've learned so much, and you learn so much about your mentality too. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I felt like that was something kind of interesting. And I don't know if a lot of people know that I literally don't. I learned all this through YouTube. If you have questions about macros, if you have questions about, you know, how to weigh your food, what the best apps are for tracking your food, like all that stuff, like I will share that with you guys as my channel grows. They have it all on their channel. Like, there's so much. You just gotta open it up and watch it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That concludes the first episode of Set It Off. So I hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and I will see you guys in the next video.